Illinois has a two-party system, one party that fights and the other one that works together, like we're doing here today. So thank you very much, all of you, for being here. You know, this event is about you. It's not about myself or the people on the stage. But if we're going to be truly a grassroots party, as Randy talked about, we've got to build the participation. And so the idea of this straw poll was to invite you to come here. We have great candidates running for president, and they're giving us a basis to reach out to new people to be part of this party. We want you all to enjoy today, get involved, stay involved as you go through this primary. This party did get things done in this last session, as Tom Cross and Christine Radagno pointed out. And I think we ought to reflect and say there's two reasons we got things done. One, we were strong because we were united. The legislative caucuses, the delegation, the county organization, all of us here, volunteers, stood up strong on key ideas. And that's the second point. We were united because we were fighting for ideas, ideas that made sense, ideas that everybody could be for. Clearly we wanted to fight taxes, we wanted fiscal reforms, we wanted ethical reforms, we wanted educational reforms. So it's a time to be involved in ideas, and that's why the presidential primary is important to us as a state. This party was born out of a presidential race. We came into being when Abraham Lincoln got elected. We're about ideas. We have great candidates who are here trying to earn your support. Their campaigns are here to earn your support, both now and as we go forward. So what I'd like to do at this point is invite the spokespeople for the campaigns.
Mitt himself, before Andy did the great job with the state central to organize this straw poll, Mitt was already committed to be in another state. He could not be here. I got the phone call and said, Craig, his son, is going to make the trip out here. We thought it was going to be 106 degrees. It turns out to be wet and rainy. Stand out there to meet him. I want all of you to meet who will be the first son of the United States of America, Craig Romney, the son of the next President of the United States.
Thank you very much, Senator Rutherford. He's been a great supporter here in Illinois. I want to say thank you to all of you who have come from so far to be here today. We really appreciate the support. Thank you to the delegates. My dad wishes he could be here, so he sent me, but hopefully I can bring a small part of what my dad has to say with me. You know, I'm not going to, like Senator Rutherford said, I'm not going to talk to you about policy. I'm not going to try to convince you about why to vote for my dad. I just want to tell you a quick story about what kind of person he is. As many of you know, he comes from a life of business, and before that he was working after that he was working in the Olympics. He was the economic competition from Asia, from other countries. We're facing troubles, you know, we're under attack by terrorists. We have major problems that we have to confront. My dad knows how to solve problems, and he's done it in unique ways.
Hey, held off for the year.
Yeah.
We'll do this. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
All right.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
You just were on stage a moment ago and able to talk about your guy,
Yes.
Fred Thompson.
Right.
And just give me a quick recap on why you think we need to come behind him right now.
We not only need a strong message, but we need a strong messenger as the Republican Party, in particular in the state of Illinois, and certainly in this nation. Fred Thompson has proven himself as a United States Senator, and in other ways, that he can carry the message, that he can speak to the people, he can speak the language of the American voter. He's got the beliefs that we in the Republican Party have, that the country has, and he can carry that message to the people. He's our best shot at keeping a Republican in the White House. I believe that his values, as indicated when he was a United States Senator and as indicated in his professional career, are what the Republican Party is all about and what we need in Illinois and the United States.
You touched on why he's not an announced candidate yet. Why is that?
One of the difficulties to tell people is, what's with indecision? There is no indecision. He is committed.
Yeah.
But under McCain-Feingold, the FEC would likely rule that while Law and Order continues to play this summer, which it cannot be polled, that the NBC would have to give equal time to the other candidates. Frankly, we're winning polls. We're assembling a campaign staff. We're getting some issues out there. He's traveling this country as hard as anyone. Everything's going well, so there's no reason to take the risk on an FEC ruling until after Labor Day.
Gotcha. Wonderful, wonderful. Thanks for your time, and we'll talk to you soon.
Good.
Representative Cross, thanks for joining us real quickly. Wanted to quickly go over some of the things that you touched on the stage today for your guy.
Well, first of all, Rudy Giuliani, we all know how he handled 9/11. One of maybe the worst day in the history of this country. He would handle it with grace, with style, and with compassion and understands international and national security is now a part of our lives and to keep us safe. Second, before 9/11, he did a great job as mayor. As I said, if you can govern New York, you can govern anywhere. Cut crime in half, reduce taxes to the point of saving $9 billion, cut the size of government by 20%, school reform, remarkable. So that, coupled with the fact that he can get things done, he's not just a talker and he can win. So I think he brings a level of excitement for Republicans. If he does well in the presidential race, we do well in Illinois. So I think he's a guy that can win whoever they throw at us.
Absolutely. Do you have any comments on the budget wrinkle that recently happened with our guy on the other, Mr. Jones?
I got to tell you, the Democrats have someday got to get their act together. We have got to bring some finality to our budget. I blame them all. They pride themselves on being in charge of everything. They all want to remind us that they run everything. They haven't been able to get a budget done. They want to raise taxes. They want to increase spending. They want to increase borrowing. People in this state, given what's going on with taxes and electric bills and the price of milk and bread, can't do it anymore. And I look at all of them and say, complete lack of leadership.
We're here with State Senator Dan Rutherford, and he has just got off the stage at the Illinois Republican Day here at the State Fair in Springfield, and he was up there rooting for his man Mitt. And Dan, tell us some things you said to the crowd.
Well, I think it's important to understand why, some of us are supporting Mitt Romney. I mean, you can go through the whole litany of issues that they are all about, but the thing that really caused me to be beyond just the issues support him is because he's making a commitment to my state of Illinois. We've had a tough go as Republicans in the past few years. Mitt Romney has committed to me that he will personally be here, he will dispatch his family here, he will send surrogates here, he will be invested in this campaign. And by having his own son here now today, having another son here last month, he's going to be here next month, it says that he's making the commitment to have Illinois in play for the Republican nomination for Mitt Romney.
Yeah, and that makes a difference with the grassroots, keeping them excited.
I think you see a fair like this where you've got a lot of people showing up to support their respective candidate, and that's invigorating. The more people we have energized about our candidates involved with it, the better it is for us to rebound and continue to build to hopefully electing, in my opinion, Mitt Romney to the White House, and then we look to the 2010 campaigns for the next slate of statewide officers.
Absolutely. All right. Hi, this is Mark Johnson with Illinois GOP Network. We're here with Mike Stokke, who is the Deputy Chief of Staff for Denny Hastert. And Mike, we have been able to talk with a lot of good Republicans here today at the State Fair, and I'm very concerned about how the Democrats are running Washington right now, and I'd like your inside thoughts on how they have continued to just run over everyone roughshod, and enlighten us on what some people might not have heard a lot about, which is this late night stolen vote.
Well, you should be concerned because this was the group that was coming in. They're going to be the most ethical people in history, and they're going to do everything right, and they're going to have rights for the minorities and all that kind of stuff. And then the first week they were there, week one, they started off by saying, we're going to throw out the rules for this week, but next week we'll get back to following the rules and we'll have the minority party allowed to have their vote. It's bad enough that they don't give us a motion to recommit. This is all process stuff a lot of people don't focus on. But when you steal a vote, I mean, they talk about our party and they talk about we kept votes open longer than 15 minutes. Well, the rules of the House say a vote has to be a minimum of 15 minutes. There is no maximum, so you can keep a vote open. What you can't do, what's unprecedented, what I've never seen before, is you call the vote, you lose the vote, and then you say, you know what, let's reopen the vote. Think about that. This isn't a precinct in Dade County, Florida. This is the United States Congress.
Yes.
They called the vote, they lost the vote, they said, stop, time out, let's do that over again. Oh, how about that, we found a few more votes.
Yeah.
They could have kept the vote open if that's what they wanted to do. Hold it open for another 3 minutes. They'd already held it open 5-6 minutes beyond the time anyway.
Yeah.
They didn't have the votes. They didn't have the votes on the floor. They actually had to go out and round people up.
Yeah.
If they had done it when the vote was open, it wouldn't have been unprecedented.
Yeah.
The fact that they closed the vote out, unprecedented in the history of the United States. And it tells you a little bit about what they're thinking when they talk about what they want to do in precincts across this country. You know, when you tamper with votes, that's the whole essence of democracy, is getting voting right.
Absolutely.
Part of what we're doing here today is getting it.
Absolutely. Now, has Nancy Pelosi made an official comment? Has she apologized?
No, she said that there's nothing to apologize for.